Thank you, Spirit, for these gifts. I find myself to be worthy. Please, God, speak through me in this space. Oh. Angels, ancestors, guides. Angels, ancestors, guides. Angels, ancestors, and guides. Angels, ancestors, and guides. Angels, ancestors, and guides that are for our highest good. All right, let's get into it. Thank you, angels, ancestors, and guides for these gifts. We're going to get right into it. So today, I know that y'all have noticed I haven't been doing a whole lot of readings. My environment is, I don't even know how my psychic abilities work yet. But what I have found is that it's really hard for me to keep a schedule for when Spirit wants to speak through me to others, right? So, okay. Hello, angels. Hello, angels. So, welcome to your reading. I got the Spirit today. I have been, right? The energy has been wild. So, I got the message to come in and bring a collective message to those of you that watch my videos. I'm feeling such gratitude. I haven't really been feeling readings so much, but I have been getting a lot of channeled messages about what to speak on. So those of you that are watching those videos where I just talk about my magical practice and I provide insight in that way, I am really grateful for that. And when the messages are coming through for readings, I feel so close to the people that subscribe to me because I do have a little more trust in the people that are sticking around for the tough stuff, like the shadow work and the sex magic. So I just wanted to give that little note. I am here to channel a collective message for my subscribers. It is a general reading, so keep what resonates for you and leave the rest behind. Really clearly before I even get started with the cards, I'm getting this message of discernment, discernment, discernment. So, this is part of my philosophy, but the thing is, if you're listening to readings, but you're not practicing your own discernment, you're really not going to get a whole lot out of it, right? I'm a human, and this reading is for the collective. So you are the collective. And when you're watching and you're listening, Spirit is inviting you to also use your intuition and your discernment to find out, where the message is trying to guide you, right? I'm doing things a little differently now. I have not been really resonating with let's do zombie tarot. I was watching other readers for a while and I was trying to do that thing where they shuffle and the cards fly out. And that works sometimes for me when I'm alone and I'm being a little stubborn. Um, but what I've found is my energy is much more grounded than that, although a card did just fly out, so I'll go ahead and show it to you. Wow, it's the World. The World. And that's from the Zombie Tarot. So I use the Zombie Tarot in help with navigating the apocalypse, which is something that we're in the midst of right now. And you can see here the globe commenting towards what looks like some kind of bunker on another planet. This is really speaking to me in a lot of ways, particularly because the earth is on fire. And, it could be symbolically, these people that are under the earth. This really reminds me of the, okay, we'll hold off on finishing that. That feels like it's done. Well, so here's the message about discernment. Let's go ahead and get started with the reading. I guess they're ready. The world is on fire right now, and it's a time where you are going to be tested in your relationship with truth, right? You are going to be tested in your ability to, our nation, I'm in America right now, has undergone a lot, but we often are a little soft around the kind of trauma that we bestow upon other countries on the regular, right? We are in political circumstances that we often create for other nations. So it's there is a lot of great irony in that. And what does that mean for the citizens of this world and the citizens of this country? So I'm really getting the message, like the thing about, like, hey, you haven't had this, and this is a general reading, so this might not resonate for you, but it might resonate for someone. What is coming to me is like, you haven't had a lot of struggle in the ways that you have the capacity to struggle. And what this new time of chaos is going to bring to you is an opportunity to understand what's going on in your inner world, right? What's going on underground for you, because you're not going to be able to find the kind of comfort and peace in the external world that you have been blessed with. And I think that that's true for so many of us, that this feeling of safety and of comfort that we have been granted is very void of actual meaning and actual spiritual depth. And as we move into the age of Aquarius, we're going to be invited to really challenge what comfort and safety really mean for us, and start to understand that it's really about what's going on inside of us, how to access our inner world and how to access the sheltered safety of the temple within us so that we can show up to a chaotic world as the masters of magic that we truly are. Wow, interesting. So are y'all masters of magic? Who's to say? Let's see who wants to go next. Okay, we'll go with the Starseed Oracle deck. Collective reading for the collective. Love starting out with that World card. We're going to call this World card the overall energy for the reading, which, is really just this story of, it can even be, I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I'm always talking about like the apocalypse and how things are changing, towers are falling, we're entering the age of Aquarius, blah, blah, blah. But even in our own lives, we can be in circumstances and in relationships where there is chaos on the outside and we're being invited to go inside of ourselves into our inner temple. So I think it's a really good message. And it's just so dope. Like, if that doesn't scream 2021 to you, the 7 Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life, Expression. So this is really an invitation. I feel like for some of you, you are really being invited to tap into some kind of coven or friend group or book club. This star came up a lot, or this card came up a lot for me when I was in the Sophia Code circle, the Sophia Journey with Compassion Mama, which I should make a video about soon. There's a couple things on my Patreon about it if you want to really dip in. But there were 7 of us in the circle, and so it was really sweet to see the 7 Star Sisters come up a lot while I was in that circle. And then this is also a very close representation of my matriarchal lineage with all of the women in my family, right? So those are some personal resonations that I get with this card. And what I'm invited to bring to the attention of the collective is that, regardless of which feminine energies exist in your life, like around you, there is an invitation to kind of lean into these relationships where you can feel the blessing of affection, and you can feel the kind of like pillow talk safety with bright, either feminine in the way that they present or feminine in the way that they channel archetypical energy, not necessarily women. But that sister relationship is a very sacred relationship that exists beyond the bounds of a family situation. So, if you have people in your life that are just waiting for you to text back, like this is the time, right? Or if you feel like you are lonely or that you're missing something, what's coming is that we are being invited out of individualism. We are being invited out of codependency to our partners, and instead we are being invited into family and community relationships that um, can help preserve us, not only our souls and how we feel in our spirit, but also so that we can remain safe as these towers around us are falling. And what comes up in the place of these institutions that are crumbling before our eyes over the course of 2021 is going to be a renewed sense of community and a renewed idea of what a safe and authentic family can really look like, right? For some of us, we don't have a positive relationship with sisterhood or family, right? For some of us, that can feel kind of scary. But the message from Spirit in this reading, at least, is like, hey, there's something out there for you, or people that are out there for you, so it's kind of time. I'm also noticing that cards are flying out, so I'm just going to go with it. It hasn't felt so great, I guess, in my personal readings as much, but this one's sticking out. It's talking to me. Queen of Cups. This was coming up for me a while earlier. It has kind of fallen to the wayside a little for me personally. But the Queen of Cups is a master of emotion. And, feet on the land, eyes on the sea. That's my favorite thing about the Queen of Cups, is that she remains grounded, but she understands the capacity for the waves. And, the ocean is a great cosmic parent, right? It can be seen as either the mother or the father. It's the creatrix of life. And even when we talk about in science, we think of the creation of life story that is given to us in science as taking place in the heat of the ocean. So, the ocean is very life-giving, but it's also very dangerous and very mysterious. So the message that I'm really feeling from this card is kind of like an invitation to see, she's looking here at the chalice, and it's really elaborate. And, this is so funny. I don't really normally get this from Queen of Cups, but it's like, this place where you're holding your capacity for emotional expression. I'm also feeling this a lot too, because there's expression in this card. This is really asking you to express yourself emotionally. When we get to the Queen card, we have achieved, right? So we have this capacity, this beautiful ornate chalice where we can hold our emotions and we can stay grounded and we can honor the complexity and both the light and the dark of water energy. And so, the Queen is letting you know that this is something that you are mastering, and it might open up a little freedom in how you're able to express yourself. It might also be that you are really you're on your path to, I just keep seeing this adventure in the sea. Like this adventure that you may feel like the burden of your throne around, like your throne has burdened you. Like the story that I'm getting, and this is collective, so it could be for anyone, but for someone it's really resonating. Like you feel like you have mastered your emotions in a way that if like you get up out of this chair, you're gonna drown. Like you can't go out into the water. You have to hold it right here in your cup. But Spirit is really saying like, no, you have mastered it. Like you can surf on the waves now. Like you can go sailing, you can go be a part of this cosmic womb, and really share your story, your emotional story, even though it might be new for you to be able to even say that you have enough emotional stability to do that. um, which also, stability is not the right word. It's mastery, really. So that's great. Love that journey for you. I could dip out here. Let's see. Let me rearrange these. Moss? Okay. Let's do it. Oy. Well, sorry, I gotta do that. Let's see what came out here. Oh, this is from a previous reading. I don't want to out that person. Take a deep breath. Any messages for the collective regarding 2021? I'm going to post a picture. I'm so conscious now of how much I say, And the thing is, maybe you don't know. We're all at different levels in our journey, right? You cannot read my mind. You don't know. But also, when I say that, I'm kind of trying to telepathically communicate with you. So, you know? Okay, show the world the real you. This is exactly what I was saying. This is the story, is like, you are, and what is that sign? Full moon in Aquarius. You are being invited to show who you really are. And who you really are is innovative, emotional. And, in some of you, it's either that it is your feminine energy, but there are some of you that are just learning to balance the masculine with the feminine, or you're going into a career or into a part of your spiritual journey where it's important to integrate the feminine or support the feminine or uplift the feminine. So, if you're not a person that's necessarily embodying or exuding that energy, you're definitely a person who is supporting with your strength that kind of energy, either through integration or by complementary means. And, the invitation here, is, it's so funny that it started off with the world, and there is a lot of like chaos projected onto that. But the thing is, all of this is about that underground, like inner world stuff, like the things that are going on in your inner world. It's like you have mastered it. Like you are ready to move forward in your comfort with your emotional depths. And there is so much support for you that is just waiting so that you can express yourself. Birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression, right? So there's a community where you're going to be able to do that safely and freely. It's just waiting for you. And then show the world the real you. Your sisters cannot find you if you are wearing a disguise. You know what I mean? It's time to show the real you. We'll do one more card and then we'll go. Let's get one more zombie deck card and see what the outcome is for 2021 for my collective subscribers who are so sweet and so supportive. A picture of this will be posted on the Patreon. Thank you, angels, spirits, and guides. Okay. Wow, the Nine of Hazards. So, the Nine of Hazards is the card of like, is it worth the risk? I think that, or is it worth, not the risk in this zombie deck, it is risk, but generally in the pentacle energy, is it worth the work for the amount of pentacles that I'm going to get? So what I'm seeing for your outcome in the 2021 story of your journey, in the 2021 chapter of your spiritual ascension book, you're going to learn what's worth your work and what isn't worth your work. You're going to have a beautiful, supportive, the story of this card is that someone opened up a shop in the zombie apocalypse so that people that were still human could still go grocery shopping. So, in this nine of hazards, the hazard is that, there's a lot of humans in there and there's a lot of people shopping, but the pentacly part is like, oh, there is a business that is still operating even though it's the end of the world and we still have abundance. And the completion energy of the 10 is really kind of sometimes what we're after, but without the discernment, without looking at, how much our labor has actually given us, we really won't be able to enjoy the completion of the 10 anyway. So the 9 of Pentacles is a very important lesson. All right. Amen, everybody. I am wishing you all of the blessings in 2021. However you navigate it is going to be perfect. You don't have to know all the answers right now because Spirit is with you every step of the way. Everyone listening to this, I can safely say with intuitive confidence, you have a lot of energy on your side. So just remember that. I'm sending lots of love.